Freegan derives a pulp matter of free and vegan in its simplest and most practical sense. Freeganism expresses the morally neutral to positive quality of rescuing food waste or other waste, even if those items are not themselves vegan foods. So an example is bread with whey in it, for example, might not be vegan if you were to buy it, which in part funds animal agriculture. But if it was salvaged and the alternative was for it to go into landfill, it is vegan because no money from its purchases went to funding animal agriculture.
Okay, so coming back to the thing, the cow problem.
Mhm.
Let's say indirectly, like if you think about the long term, those people who wait, those people who are who are selling milk, and as they get richer, they're also developing and improving the environment those cows live in. So if you think about it in the long term, you could theoretically giving those cows a better quality of life because they're probably spending more money to get the cow to produce better milk. So it could improve the quality of the product. They can increase the prices, and in a way, do you think indirectly it could benefit the cows in the long term?
It depends. Like you'd have to like when I was first going vegan, I looked up this thing called ahimsa milk, which is these like Hindus who like just want to like they worship cows like in their religion Hinduism. So they just like want to give cows like the best life possible. So like part of their like going to temple and like have volunteers just like bathing these cows and just like giving them this like massive amount of land like free from predators to just run around and enjoy life. So like there's not much I can say that's like bad about like for the cow in that situation. Like apart from the it takes up a lot of land to keep cows where that some of that land could go back to wildlife habitat, and then that would be like a carbon sink for greenhouse gases. Apart from that, like there's not much ethically wrong for like relieving. Like cows are bred with we've the morally wrong thing was breeding cows to have like massive udders that can make bring them a lot of pain, and they can get infections and die. So like relieving that pain by milking them can be a good thing sometimes. So yeah, like but when I looked that up when I was first going vegan, that was like the actual milk that it takes the money that it takes to produce that kind of milk is like massive. It's like to actually buy a carton of that milk, it's like £20 or something ridiculous like that. And yeah, so like my family was I was a kid when that happened. My family wasn't going to buy that. But like if you're aware of some company like that, like it's going to be very gray area whether it's like unethical or not. Like I can entertain arguments for that being ethical, but like
Yeah,
not but like most of society isn't gonna switch over to that. It's like so much. It's going to cost so much to actually produce that kind of milk and animal products.
yeah. Also, in general, you're talking about like slowly culturally enforcing people to not buy those cow produced milks and like just boycott them, and or you just
Well,
talking about the law goes like no more cow milk or both.
it's already like cheaper to buy plant products, and people are coming up with like alternatives that like taste the same. It's just like governments doing like massive subsidies for animal products because it's like seen as like a luxury item, and also puts money in the pockets of like poor farmers. It's like a way of having like expendable cash.
Yeah,
But
that's also a thing because like let's say if you were to ban like a milk company, like it's like thousands, like I mean like hundreds of people would lose their job, like people who work in a factory, those people, like even the person who's transporting goods person who's like milking the cow, and like
Yeah, so like
like
yeah, it's definitely not going to happen like in the foreseeable future. Like what we're just aiming for is people going vegan, like institutions like not having to have like milk animal products in schools, which like harms children's health, and yeah, like stopping like boycotting animal products slowly, so like more people boycott animal products, the less people breed cows, and then by the time like decades and decades or maybe hundreds of years time, we actually are able to outlaw meat eating, like keeping animals captive and killing them intentionally. There'll be like so few animals like left after like no one breeding them for ages that it will just be like people will just be able to leave them on a like a sanctuary to live out their days. Yeah, nothing like now.
um well, also I think for your like the idealist will you're talking about, I think it'd be a good idea for you like people started promoting ideas of having these animals as pets, like having a cow as pet. Like obviously like no one can afford like cows, like not everyone, like, but like you can, because it's like, you know, but what amount of animals do we have the most in the world? And those animals are usually like, you know, dogs, cats, or birds, because people keep them as pets, and like no one is really like, killing them. They're also like people want them to expand in terms of the population, I think.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Like, definitely, like a lot of advocacy at the moment is like when like news stories happen about like the dog meat festival in China. Like, it's an opportunity to talk to friends about like, well, if your values are that you don't like that, then what about factory farming and stuff? But a really important thing to mention to talk about really is the environment and like the way the greenhouse gases are going at the moment, and the way rainforest is being ripped down to make to plants for beef fields for beef, and, but also for like soy to feed factory farmed animals. And yeah, so like the less animals we breed, the more people boycott animal products, the more we're able to rewild that habitat and prevent like species extinction. And I think like a rewilding, like your static background's happening.
Sorry. So let me change the topic a bit here. So, you know,
Okay.
alternative, like the exact opposite of veganism would be like, you know, carnivorism, like you only eat meat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so there's this person on the internet. She's called Michaela Peterson. Have you heard of her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Jordan Peterson's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the link from her Instagram. Those people
Yeah.
like, yeah, they're posting these images like called, they try for like, I don't know, a month or however long. They go like they
Mm-hmm.
face these transformative body changes. Do you have any thoughts on
Mm.
this?
It's just like people do these before and after pictures with vegan as well. Um, yeah, I really don't think like just eating like eating like really fatty meat like 24/7 is good for you. Like the amount of cholesterol in that. Like yeah, there's the carnivore forum and like people are like talking about like having like green shits and like worrying about not wanting to tell the doctors because the doctors are gonna like put them inside like a mental asylum and stuff. Like they're giving like each other tips on like how not to get sectioned, like having like really bad health problems. Like yeah, I don't know. Like I don't think it's healthy. There's
Also, also
go on.
they claim to have like lost so much weight because of this diet. If you look at like,
Mhm.
they're fasting for 16 to
Yeah.
18 hours daily. It's not because of diet, it's because
Mm.
they're eating nothing.
Yeah, yeah, it's mad. Like you get it with every diet. Like people will put before and after pictures, but I don't think like if you did a study on these people, like they'd be having really good health benefits. It's just yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not been tested properly. But yeah, there's like Academy of Nutrition people who have said like veganism is like adequate for all stages of life, and like that's enough of a basis for the ethical argument of why people should move over to veganism.
yeah. Also, on her podcast, on her like live stream, I saw she said the people who take them after, like, they, I don't remember exactly, but like she talked about, like, those, to keep up all the vitamins and like nutrients you need, they start taking supplements to make up for them. So like, if they don't, face they might face some health benefits. Like, I think some people started mentioning like their hands started shaking out of nowhere sometimes. Something like that.
Yeah.
It's also like, I heard, like, if you only eat meat, like no, like anything vegetable related,
Mm.
you kind of like start to smell
Mhm.
bad. Like, you kind of start to smell like meat in general if you only eat it for
Yeah.
so long.
Yeah, but meat sweats.
Okay.
Yeah, not good.
Can we since you're like a full-on vegan, can you share
Uh-huh.
some of your arguments for veganism?
Yeah, I mean, just that like name the trait thing is where I started to run you through it. One sec. Um, yeah, it basically asks like if you answer that you're not okay with killing humans for food, and you are okay with killing non-human animals for food, what trait is true of the animal that would let you feel justified in killing animals? And if that became true of humans, would you then feel justified in killing humans if you could easily eat and had access to plant food in either scenario? So some traits people name might be like lack of intelligence or no social contract. And then there's like reductives on those where if like an alien species came down and wanted to farm people because they were not of the same species as them, then obviously like you might be against that. So then your justification that it's not the same species wouldn't hold.
So when it comes to that, I was like, let's say you're in a situation like you rather kill a animal or a human who and in this situation you had like human meat more cheaper and like easier to access. I would like still like eat the animal instead.
Humans,
Sorry.
sorry, my dog.
Okay.
I missed what you said. Then the animals were.
So let's say you have to choose between like eating a human and eating an animal.
Mm,
And that human is that person, like, that person is law abiding, that person has a job, he pays taxes, and like I would eat
mm,
the animal instead, because I would see like, because it's more
yeah.
cost benefit to like actually eat the animal that time. I'm just
Right. No, yeah, no, that's fine. But like, so we're not looking for like what's the moral difference for why you see humans as more valuable. Like I see humans as more valuable than animals in their capacity to like live long life and like have more like complex experiences. But we're looking for like a sufficient reason um for killing one and not the other. Like so um like the sufficient reason for me feeling fine about killing plants is that they don't have a sentience. So the trait is lack of sentience, but animals do have sentience. So I think like the fact that they have interest to go on livings for habits they like to do each day. I think it's like ethically wrong to go against those interests, go against those desires by paying money to have them killed.
um yeah, I guess, do you not think plants you don't think plants act on upon their own will to, like, I don't know, like when they're like
They're not. They,
adjusting, taking in like food like from water, it's like they're kind of doing that on their own will, I think.
Yeah,
So
plants don't have like a conscious experience. Like they don't have like a central nervous system where they're like experiencing pain as like a problem for them themselves. Like plants can like take in information like where light is and like which directions it could grow in to take in more light. But they're not thinking about like light like being like relating to them as like a separate thing, like a separate organism.
Oh,
So yeah.
are you putting pain as like the moral thing? It's like,
Well, it's like have you heard of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
yeah,
Like, so like I'm so sentience is the difference between plants and animals. But in terms of like why there's like an ethical obligation to not, for me at least on my moral system, to not kill plants is like to kill animals is like is caring about their interests. And so like yeah, like very low level animals might only have like pain and pleasure, not like want to avoid a flame or want to avoid feeling pain themselves. But like as you go up like more complex cognitively, animals like pigs, very similar to dogs, they have like desires to like for habits they like to do each day that bring them like fulfillment. Like they have like complex desires which and then which bring them like kind of happy flourishing, like a dog, like you know the difference between like an abused dog and a happy dog who's got a good life because they're having all their needs fulfilled, they're being able to express all the capabilities.
yeah,
So that's like higher up on the
but
hierarchy of needs.
yeah. Eh, Before it almost seems like you're
Mm-hmm.
putting Maslow hierarchy as like a appeal to authority argument right here.
No, I'm just saying why on my moral view why I have an interest in respecting animal like desires is
Okay.
because is because of like everything that they want in their life. Like I can in terms of science, like I know that like larger mammals with more cognitive